Okay, but for the last number of weeks, we've been looking at the story of Easter. Esther. Not Easter. And when we started, we said that a lot of our stories in kids' church had all been big men, like Joseph and Moses and Daniel. But this is a story about a young girl called Esther. And today we're going to watch a recap, which is a video of her whole story. And we can do that because the story is written in the Bible for us to read. We can see how God worked out his plan for Esther, and we can see then how that plan all worked out, and how God used Esther to save his people, the Jews. And Esther was just a young girl. She had no mum or dad, and she was looked after by her cousin Mordecai. And she was taken to a strange country, but Mordecai taught her all about God. And Esther trusted God when she had a hard time and a hard and dangerous thing to do. And she prayed, and she fasted, and she had faith, and she believed God, and God used Esther to save the people. And Esther and Mordecai were given authority from the king, and they used that authority very wisely for good. So we're going to watch the video now.
Desert landscape of ancient Iraq lies hidden ruins which hold enchanting stories from the sands of time.
Wait a second. Sands of time? Oh, I get it. Please continue.
A long time ago, the city of Shushan was ruled by a powerful king of such splendor and majesty. His name,
God's story. Esther. So part of God's story is about a woman named Esther, and it goes like this. Esther was adopted by her cousin Mordecai because her parents died. She and Mordecai were Jewish, which means they were part of God's special family. Our story begins right before Esther becomes queen, and God's family gets in some serious danger. Now, even though Esther was Jewish, she lived in Persia, which was ruled by King Xerxes. One night, King Xerxes wanted to show off his wife, Queen Vashti, at a party. She said no. So he said Vashti could never see him again, and he needed a new queen. So the king invited all the single ladies in Persia to his palace for a year. He decided Esther was prettiest, and she became queen. Really? But as crazy as that sounds, it was a good choice because Esther saved his life. See, one day, Mordecai overheard two guards plotting to kill the king. So he told Esther, and Esther told Xerxes. Around the same time, another powerful man in the palace, Haman, got really mad at Mordecai. He didn't know Mordecai had saved the king's life, or that he was the queen's cousin. So he made a rule that all Jews must die. Like we said, he was really mad. And the king let Haman make this law because he had no idea that Mordecai or Esther were Jewish. Well, all the Jewish people were heartbroken, but Mordecai thought maybe Esther could save them. She was queen after all. Problem is, only a king could change laws, and anybody who even spoke to the king when he didn't want to listen, including Esther, but she was willing to try. She said, if I die, I die. Talk about brave. So Esther visited the king. To her relief, he said, what do you want? I'll give it to you. Esther had a plan. Politely, she invited King Xerxes and Haman to dinner. She had saved the king's life. Now she was making a special dinner for him. Xerxes liked that. He said yes. That night, the king asked Esther what she wanted again. And again, Esther invited them to dinner. Haman was thrilled to be invited to dine with the king and queen. Twice. But even with this special treatment, he knew he couldn't be truly happy until Mordecai was dead. So he came up with a plan to kill him the next day. That same day, the king realized that Mordecai had never been honored for saving him. So Xerxes asked Haman how to honor someone. Haman thought the king was going to honor him. Instead, he honored Mordecai. So Haman was already in a bad mood when he got to dinner. But his day went from bad to worse. See, Esther finally told the king that someone made a law to destroy her people. Xerxes was furious and asked, "Who dared to do such a thing?" Esther told him it was Haman. Then the king found out that Haman wanted to kill Mordecai too. Enraged, he ordered that Haman be killed. After that, King Xerxes told Mordecai to make a new law to save the Jewish people. They honored Mordecai and celebrated with a feast. Esther had been willing to risk her life for her people, and she ended up saving them. Like Esther, another rescuer would come one day, and he would actually die to save all of God's special family. And that's the story of Esther. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Esther was Jewish. She became queen. Mordecai overheard a plan. He told Esther. Esther told King Xerxes. Mordecai made Haman mad. Haman made a law. The Jewish people were sad. Esther was brave. She had a plan. She told the king about Haman. The king got rid of Haman. God's family was saved. And that's a part of God's story.
Right. So, that was God's plan for Esther, and she didn't know the plan, but her part was just to trust God and obey Him. And God has a plan for all of us. But I can't read you the story of Denzel or Keena. I can tell you the start of their story, but only God knows what's going to happen next in this plan for them. And their job is just to trust God and obey and follow Him. Now, I want to introduce you to another little girl, Florence. And Denzel and I are going to tell you a little bit about her. But this is only the start of her story. Only God knows the plan He has for her. But I can tell you this, already good has been at work in her life. And last week as a church, we agreed to sponsor Florence. And we thought we would choose a boy. Maybe something similar in age to Denzel or Erie, so it would be easy to write letters. But then it became clear that God had other plans. And so we're going to tell you today a little bit about our Florence. So Denzel, do you want to come and help me? If I put this down here, we'll both be able to read it. So, you start with your writing.
Lawrence, last week on church. Lawrence, last week on church agreed to sponsor a young girl called Florence. He lives in a small country in Africa called Togo, in a village of 2,500 people called Colmeno, which is 60 miles from the capital. It is an area of flat land, and the main occupations are laboring and looking after animals. A typical home has mud walls and a dirt floor. And it's in rift. The people are very poor. They eat bananas, beans, and rice, fish, maize, and other cereals. Florence is 3 years old, and her birthday is on Christmas Eve. She will be 4 this year.
Okay, so the local church has already had input into Florence's life. Her mum has had support and help from trained specialists at the church who have supported her before and during and after Florence was born. And they carry out checkups and they've given immunisations. So Florence will soon be ready for school, but until then the team from the church will continue monthly visits, giving advice in nutrition and providing any medical care that's needed. They will also provide her mum with training in early years development and also will be there to give her mum emotional and spiritual support.
When she's old enough, she will go to school, and any fees will be paid for, and she will also attend Saturday club. The club starts at 9 a.m. It starts off like our kids' church and Bible stories, memory verses, and lots of singing. This goes on until 10:30 when we have a break.
Okay, the rest of the morning is spent doing social lessons and activities that will help them develop a healthy self-esteem and as well giving them good social and personal skills.
At 12 o'clock, they have lunch. It would be rice or pasta with meat or fish.
And at 1 o'clock they go back to lessons about health and hygiene, for example how to avoid malaria and HIV and how to recognise and deal with abuse, which is a big problem there.
At 2 o'clock, they would do things like writing letters and drawing pictures for sponsors. Leaders will help older children to plan and prepare for their career and future. The children also get to take part in a number of activities such as learning musical instruments, dance, choir, art, and sport. Although Florence is too young to read yet, we can send her some pictures and photographs. So today I want to ask everyone in Kids Church to draw a picture of themselves and write on your name, your age, and your favorite thing to do, like football or swimming. Gordon and me will put these together and send them off to Florence's favorite things, so we can send these to her. It would be exciting to see how she grows up and we get to know more about each other.
Okay, as Denzel has said, please, for next week, and I will also contact David and Christiana as well. So we want a picture, want to draw a picture of yourself, and then write your name and your age and your favourite thing to do, and I guess there'll be a little help from Mum and Dad for Keena. And then we'll also take some photographs of the kids in Kids Church so that we can send to Florence. Because remember, she's only 3, so she can't read, although her mum can read to her. So we look forward to getting our pictures. Now, if anybody's wondering, thank you, Denzel, that was really good. If anybody's wondering where Togo is, I thought it was an island, so I have no idea where Togo is. So that's it there. So it's the sticky out bit of Africa. That's a technical term. I should not get Claire doing this because she's geography. And if we zoom in a little on that, then, so it's a very small country here. It's very close to Nigeria, which is where David and Christiana come from. Nigeria is a huge country. There's one little country in between, Benin, and then there's Togo, which is just this small country. So, all the churches in Ireland that deal with compassion support Togo, and compassion, they are in so many countries all around the world, but they get different home countries to support different places so they can focus. So Ireland focuses on Togo. So that's just so to fill you in. And as we hear back from Florence, then Anna maybe she'll send us some pictures and that, and we'll share those with you, and we'll keep in touch. And so this is something that Kids Church is sponsoring, and it's something that we want Kids Church to be really, really involved with. So let's sing a song now. Now, I can't sing and do the actions, as you know, so I hope that you all are going to do these actions now. Anybody gets lost, Robert, keep your right. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. So high, can't get over it. So low, can't get under it. So wide, can't get out of it. Oh, wonderful love. Very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love back and help me now.